What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Tryhard for Life 69,
And joeyjr 93.
and we're bringing you a gameplay on the map Resistance. I was playing with my clan No X, and we were outnumbered in the beginning, but our teammates started spawning in, and we got everything started, but we had short numbers in the beginning, but we got everything good together in the flags at the end, so we won, which is always good. But anyways, that's not the point. Let's get into my class. My class was the ACR, Silencer, Sleight of Hand, Assassin with Stalker Pro, and my kill streaks were Paramissile, Precision Airstrike, and Attack Helicopter. I use these so I can get them extra fast, instead of just waiting to get the payload. I know the payload is better and everything, but I'd rather have just my kill streaks really fast. But today, Joe, I had an idea of a commentary. Maybe we can. I had an idea of saying our top 3 favorite games. So, Joe, I'll start with you. What was your 3 favorite games, Joe?
Oh man, I have a lot of choices, but these I have to go with, guaranteed. First of all, Redbird, Game Boy Color, Pokemon, because that was my first game ever. I got it with the Game Boy Color. My dad bought it for me, and because I watched the show as a kid, and then my dad's like, you know what? Let me just buy you a game, because you love it so much. I was in 1st grade, so I'm like, all right, test it out. And pick Charmander because he's the boss. And then I just fell in love with it. Then after that, it would have to be Kingdom Hearts. So definitely, 'cause I love Kingdom Hearts. I'm a Kingdom Hearts freak. And if you thought I was bad in Batman and zombies, and Pokemon, Kingdom Hearts is worse. Kingdom Hearts, Animal. I beat the game infinite times. I beat Sephiroth at the end, every Keyblade known to man, except the ones they had to cheat, because I can't get them. And then modern game, Day of Reckoning 1, WWE Day of Reckoning for the GameCube. And that game was fun because I used to make other superstars. I got this from like one of my favorite commentators on YouTube, and he posts videos of created superstars fighting and stuff. And I made Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, Mario, Luigi, SpongeBob. I made a bunch of different people from this illegal website that I went on. And I just fell in love with that. And those are my top 3 favorite games. What about you?
My top 3 favorite games has to be, I'll start with Legend of Zelda or Ocarina of Time. Solely because it was one of the best adventure games I've ever played, and it was the first one for the Nintendo 64. Because Nintendo 64 was my first ever console. It was one of the games I really hold close to heart because, when that game first came out, that game was probably the longest, hardest game people have seen in a while, and the best because, it was so deep. There were so many things you can do in that game. It reminded me a little bit like Skyrim because it was just a free world. I mean, the world wasn't that big, but it was really big for that time. There was no other game like it at that time and place. Because right now, you can use the online to figure out what to do. But back then, I mean, I know I didn't use the online, and getting through that water temple, oh my god, it's not possible. It took me literally 2 months. I had to stop for 2 months, ask my cousin how he did it, and then my cousin said, I got it. And, it was so challenging, that game, but once I got to Ganondorf, it was a fail though, because Ganondorf wasn't even that nice. I expected him to be this big boss, but he wasn't. It was whatever. But that's enough for that. My second favorite game was Call of Duty MW2. This is one of the most recent games, solely because it was my first Call of Duty ever. And I really enjoyed the game. There was just a lot of depth to it. There was a lot of BS to it too, like YouTube one-man army. But you know what? I believe that's what made it fun at times. Having that many choices. You can either be a dick and use the one-man army. There's a lot of variety. In MW3 now, you're solely supposed to use only one gun. Back then, you can use more than just one gun, and you do well with it. Now you gotta use either the ACR or one of those top tier guns, unless you're good with the other ones, but not too many people are. And yep, and getting the nuke back then was a lot of fun. I don't know why, but getting the more I've seen just easier than getting nuked. I don't know why. That's not the point. And my third last favorite game is 007 GoldenEye. I enjoyed playing that multiplayer. Just imagine playing it on the smallest TV at the time, just 4 split screen. You can't see nothing. nothing's been able to see on that TV screen. But once I got that golden gun and I played against my cousins, oh, it was a wrap. I was camping like a maniac. And the thing was funny is that wherever you pointed, it's like you had aimbot. You just shot and you were right. Because I remember my cousins, we used to play with big head mode on, and you know it was like an Easter egg, and we used to run around like you look at James Bond, and you're like, what the fuck? Why do you have such a big fucking head? You know, the Easter egg. And what my cousins used to do was that they used to use the AK-47 like everyone else, well, obviously, and they used to just spray everywhere. It's like Tony Montana. They're like, say hello to my little friend, and you know, like rapidly, like, cause that gun was cheap. It was like steady aim pro. That's how cheap it was using that steady aim with that AK-47. But the golden gun has to be, you know, all time. What do you think, Joe? You agree with those selections besides those being your favorite games? You enjoy any of those other games that I mentioned? Cause I remember I used to play Day of Reckoning 1, and I'm not sure if it was Day of Reckoning 1 actually. Day of Reckoning 1 or Day of Reckoning 2. When I played fought Ric Flair, I believe in the story mode, it was like impossible to beat him. Was that like a common theme, or was that just, you know, for that story mode?
Well, they always make the story mode hard. Every time you get to a new part, especially when you go for the titles and you get close to WrestleMania, they just make that ridiculously hard. I was curious. I'm like, damn. I remember, well, this is in number 2 though, but it was still ridiculous that you had to do a fatal 4-way steel cage match, and you know, in Day of Reckoning, the series says there's only 2 of them. You can only win by escaping the cage, and then, you know, when they made the SmackDown vs. Raw series, you're allowed to pin, submit, escape the cage, you know, anything means necessary to win. But back then, fatal 4-ways is hard. And you try to pin one, that's it. Either they're kicking out, or you have the other 2 men trying to say, no, we're winning, not you. So I had to literally use my finishers infinite times, all those specials, everything. And I made all of them bloody. Cause there was like a limb meter, like it shows like your head, your arms, your legs, your body, and then like yellow is getting damaged, orange is bad, and then red is like the worst, like, you know, you'll bleed or whatever. And then, you know, I had to make everyone like red everywhere, and then I pinned one of them, got lucky, and I won. That's it. It was ridiculous though.
What was your favorite wrestler for that game? Mine had to be Chris Jericho.
Let's see, for me, well, let's see, maybe has to be Stone Cold. He's a badass like me, or I should say I'm a badass like him. And you know, that's Daddy over there. You know, me and him, Stone Cold Stunner is good night. And you know, besides him, John Cena, you know, another boss. That's it. Attitude Adjustment, or back then, FU. But you know, they had to change it because now kids watch it, which makes me mad. And FU sounded better. And you know, they had to change it, which was stupid. But whatever, can't do anything about it. That's it.
Yep. Well, getting back to the gameplay, you know, this gameplay is getting close to the end. Here, you know, I was going ham, as you can see. I was doing really well this game. And this precision airstrike was not working for me. But actually here, I believe I actually got a kill or 2, which I was really happy for. You know, I actually got triple. Wow, it's pretty good. But anyway, that's not the point. Here I'm running. The reason why I run this new class instead of, you know, putting scavenger on it, I feel like reloading really fast puts the favors in your side to win the gunfight. Because sometimes when you use the ACR and extended mags, you run out of ammo in your clip and you gotta reload, and people usually take advantage of that and flank you and kill you by using a steady aim gun like the PP90 or the MP7 or something like that. And I got tired of that, so I use the sleight of hand now. And Stalker helps me stutter step. Stutter step is basically when you move left and right. I usually win 99% of my gunfights. I know it's cheap, but you know, any means necessary to get gameplay for you guys. Well, that's the end of the gameplay. This is Tryhard for Life 69.
And joeyjr 93.
And we'll see you guys next time. And thanks for viewing the video.